This template support video shows you how to link your reporting classes in the management accounts and budget templates. The management accounts and budget templates are very similar, and the layout of the templates are essentially the same. So this video is applicable to both these templates. So the management accounts template has a column for forecasted amounts, a column for your actual results for the current financial year, and a column for your prior year financial results. And that's for the current month as well as a year to date. So to populate these amounts, we basically need 3 separate trial balances. And these trial balances contain the account balances for the applicable period on these trial balance sheets, and then these reporting classes in column A determine which amounts of feed into which rows on your financial reports. So as you can see here, just as an example on the balance sheet, the reporting class is hard-coded into column A. And then your formulas are essentially the same for all rows. So the balance sheet is fully automated and requires no user input. It's the same for the cash flow statement and the income statement as well. So all formulas are automatically calculated based on the reporting class code in column A. So this is essentially the link between the trial balance amounts and these financial reports. So the same basically goes for the cash flow statement, also reporting classes in column A, and then your income statement, same principle. So it's these reporting classes. So let's go to the group sheet where you can see these are our predefined reporting class codes. And you can see income statement, balance sheet assets, balance sheet liabilities, and balance sheet equity classes. Okay, so the links are established on the key sheet. So because there are 3 different trial balances, we use one sheet to establish the links between the trial balance accounts and the reports. Some of our other templates, like the financial statement and financial analysis template, only contain one trial balance, and we therefore link the accounts to the reporting classes on that trial balance sheet. But in this case, we have 3 trial balances, and we therefore use a key sheet to link the classes to the accounts. So you have your account number in column A, account description in column B, and then the classes. So if you use our account numbers and you want to just enter or copy your trial balance amounts into the trial balance sheets, then all the accounts are already linked. But if you want to use your own general ledger accounts, then what you need to do is to re-establish these links. And that's what I'm basically just going to show you how to do that. So I've got my own trial balance, which I've basically just added this new account description before some of our account numbers to create a different account number convention. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it on the key sheet. So that's the first step. I'm going to say paste values. Okay. Now if I go down, and then I've got less accounts. But this is important. I'm just deleting the extra ones, and I'm just going to widen this column. So important to note is this end of list row. When you insert, I knew that I had less accounts, so I knew I wouldn't affect this end of list row. But if you have more accounts than what we provide for you, need to be careful not to remove this end of list row. You need to go and insert blank rows above this row before including your account numbers. The reason being, there's a lot of named ranges in this template which work off the key sheet and specifically off this row. So if you paste in accounts without first inserting the required number of rows above this row, what will happen is that your new accounts, the range won't extend to include all of them. The range will still will stay locked up to row 62 and only include the accounts above and not the ones that you may have pasted which extend this row. So first insert the required number of additional rows, empty rows, before you copy your account number and description. So now what we've basically done is we've included new accounts in column A and B with the description. So the class codes that are in here are not applicable anymore because that was our default classes. So I'm just going to delete them. And as soon as I do that, you see this E4 error, which basically indicates that there's no class listed here. So we need to go and establish new classes by looking at the accounts. So in this case, office equipment, and then going to the group sheet and looking for the appropriate class that you want to link those accounts to. So in this case, I'm going to link that to property, plant and equipment, and I'm going to paste it in there. I paste values just not to paste that formatting, but you can paste the formatting as well as if you want to. So now that account has been linked to that class, and it's a bit of a tedious exercise, but you need to go through and you need to go and link every account that you have to one of our predefined reporting classes. Okay, so it's just copying our existing reporting classes into column C on the key sheet. I'm not going to go through all of that. It'll take too long. So I'm just going on to the next step. The next step would be to take these account numbers and look at your trial balance sheets. So like I stated previously, there's 3 trial balance sheets. TBPY for the prior financial year, TBCY for the current financial year, and a forecast sheet for the forecast trial balance. So you need to include your account numbers. These account numbers would still be our default account numbers. So your own general ledger account numbers, which you've included in column A here, also need to be added to the trial balances. So that's in column B. So column A and column C contain formulas. So I've pasted the account numbers. I don't need all of these extra rows. So I'm just going to delete them. If you have more account numbers than the default, you would need to copy the formula in column A and column C for the additional rows. Okay. So that's basically what I've done. I've included my new account numbers in column B, and I'm just going to go and do that for TBCY. I just paste values to be sure that I don't paste formatting as well, and then I'm going to do it here, same. And again, like I said before, if you have more accounts, you need to copy these formulas. So it's only these 2 columns with the light blue column headings that contain formulas. So I'm just going to do the last sheet as well. And paste the forecast sheet. Okay. And get rid of the additional rows, and now I've done all three. So as you can see in the class column, the class will be displayed if you've linked the class on the key sheet. If you haven't, then it shows 0 at the moment. But you need to go through on the key sheet and link all your classes until there are no errors. If you do that, then everything will look fine here in terms of the class codes in column A on all three trial balances. So now you would include your amounts in the monthly columns. The period to which it relates is already reflected there. And the important point in the management accounts and budget templates to note is that all trial balance amounts must be cumulative. So the formulas in the template have already been set up in a way that cumulative balances are expected. So what it would do in terms of your monthly movements is it would take, say, May and deduct April from May to determine May's monthly movements. So if you don't include cumulative balances, your reports will have really weird looking results. And that always comes back to including cumulative balances. And that's basically it. So the important point is on the key sheet, each account needs to be linked to one of our predefined reporting classes. And that will automate the link between the account and the reporting. Which accounts feed into which lines. And if these keys are not found, if they haven't been created on your key sheet, you'll get these error messages. But as long as you've linked your key sheet properly to each reporting class, then you won't see any errors. So that's basically the process in the management accounts and budget templates that you need to follow to establish your links between your trial balance and the financial reports. It's a bit tedious for the first setup of the template, but after that it becomes a lot easier, because you only then basically need to link new accounts in your trial balance. So just another point to note is the TB check sheet. If you're going to use the TB check sheet, what this basically does is check the sequence between your trial balance and whichever of the three trial balances you are working with. So what you would do is you'd also paste your account numbers into the TB check sheet. So I'm just going to go paste, I do values again, and just to make sure I don't paste the formats, delete the additional accounts, and now you can see there's no errors because the sequence is the same. And this sequence is currently compared between this column A and current, which means current financial year, and therefore TBCY sheet. You can also do the prior period, and you can do the forecast. So this will just show you that your sequence is exactly the same, and then you can easily copy the amounts that you'll paste in here from your trial balance and paste them onto the appropriate trial balance sheet. So that's what the TB check sheet is for. And that basically ends the tutorial on linking your trial balance accounts to the financial reports. If you want to review more template support videos, you can find them in the support section of our YouTube channel.